Hey, how's it going everyone? Here today with the latest S.H MonsterArts release and the first, that's right, the #1 Yugioh release from Tamashii Nation. I know a lot of people have been asking for the figure arts, but yeah, they're starting off with the S.H MonsterArts line with the most iconic monster, and that is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Oh man, I can't believe how excited I am for this release. I know a lot of people are, and to be honest, yeah, it's fair. This is a beauty of a release. Straight away, we've got the hieroglyphic design in the background, really leaning into the Season 1 aesthetic of Yu-Gi-Oh! With dual monsters, as is in Japan. This is a retail release, so you can pick it up in shops, though the pre-order for this, they did sell out pretty fast. Though like most retail releases, you should find it in shop on release, though that will depend on what country you're in, of course. If you are new to the Tamashii line, if you're just jumping in due to this release, a couple of things to point out. Since it's a retail release, we don't have a premium Bandai logo, which is a Tamashii web icon on the box. So you don't need to worry about that. And then they also have the Tamashii quality seal sticker, a little bit tiny one these days. So all the official licensed products will have that sticker, along with the current blue Bandai logo, Tamashii Nation's logo, so forth. And it seems like we also have a NES, I think it's a sticker. Yeah, so this is a sticker as well. I'm not sure who this is, but I'm pretty sure this will, well, it will definitely be the licensor for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Line, or one of the IP holders, or someone connected like that, where they have to get their seal of approval as well for releases. Now, on the back, let's swing it around. Check it out, we already get a little bit sneak peek at Blue Eyes himself, with his head poking out, and that attack as well. What's it called? I think Stream Burst Attack, I think the name is. Anyway, we do have a nice selection of images. Now this was the first teaser image that they put out, and it looked like a 3D render. That is like how crazy good the finish on this figure looks. That all the kind of joints blend in, and under the right lighting, it just looks like a render. It's that cool. But you know, he can get into his iconic poses, and he also comes with a stand, which we'll get a look at in a moment. So yeah, let's pop this one open. I haven't, actually no, I have cracked the seal. So let's pop it open and slide it out and see what he does come with. Okay, so Blue Eyes is in the center. If you plan on storing this in the box, I highly recommend taking photos of the limb and wing position, so you don't damage it when you do put it back in. Now often these packages are pretty tight, so you need to get the correct alignment to slot them back in. So yeah, anyway, Blue Eyes in the center. We have the parts for the stand, so here's wing support, one for his attack, one for the body as well. The pedestal is attached on the back, and then we have his attack. This, if you're into the Dragon Ball line, it's very similar to the Kamehameha effects. We have the additional light beams which you attach into it. I think, was it burst? I'm pretty sure burst stream attack. Definitely update me in the comments below if that name is incorrect. But yeah, anyway, let's pop them out of the packaging, chuck it on the turntable, so we can check out that overall finish. Okay, so as Blue Eyes swings around here, check out that finish and all the colouring. It has a really soft, kind of like a baby blue colour to it, which, you know, kind of alternates between like a white and a darker blue with the weaving. So it definitely gives it a lot of detail and layer to the figure, which has an otherwise simple colour scheme. All the scales throughout his spine definitely lend to the extra depth and detail for this release. And then the way all the wings overlap as well. So each one of these, as we'll get a look at in a moment, will have its own individual point of articulation. But yeah, for now, for the rest of the finish, it looks like, yeah, nice kind of shiny tongue. The teeth look all cleanly formed with a white colour as well. And extra white on the horn parts as well. The eyes look really nice as well. Nice metallic blue on the eye, which is picking up the light beautifully. I mean, overall, it looks like he's just jumped straight off a card onto the turntable here. Yeah, aesthetically speaking, damn, it looks good. So yeah, let's pop them off this. Oh, actually, before we jump into the articulation, this is the effect as well, which has a nice translucent blue into a darker opaque kind of whitish colour with a blue kind of lightning effect wrapping around. Now you can attach in 3 additional parts to this to extend out all the light. So this looks really cool when it's in this mouth, really doing a take. But we'll take a closer look at that a little bit later in the video. For now, we'll pop them off and check out the articulation. So starting with the head and neck, we get a nice range of motion on that top peg. Everything will swivel around really well. The back part here actually moves as well, which is cool. So we get 2 points. Mainly the lower one, which moves, it seems. The mouth opens up really wide and shuts nicely as well. And then on the neck as well, the lower neck, we have a point of articulation, and then each one of these is kind of like a MonsterArts tail with its individual joint, so you get a really wide range of motion. I mean, the joints feel really smooth as well, so definitely lots of possibilities here. Like anything with lots of articulation, it probably takes a bit of practice to get used to it, and then moving each joint individually to create that ultimate look. But so far, everything feels really nice and fluid. Moving over to the wings now, we have the main shoulder joint here, which will move up and down, and we can swivel and pivot on that point as well, which is nice. Then we have another joint on the top part here for the main wing to come in and out, and then you have the additional 2 flaps on the inside, which have their own joints, so you can spread these out to give a full wing out look, or you can twist everything around and bring it down for the closed wing look when he's standing. One thing to point out, these 2 inner flaps do connect on a very small joint, so I think that is one delicate point for this finger just to keep in mind, especially when you're trying to put it back into packaging. So try and pay attention to that, and you know, if anything feels tight, don't force it, just move with the motion of the joints you have, and same for any figure. If it's really tight, contact the customer service, or if you don't think it's too bad, you can add a little bit of silicone oil and it should clear it right up. But yeah, so far on this figure, everything does feel beautiful and smooth to use, so no worries there. So moving over to the arms, we have a nice shoulder joint which moves up and down really well. A couple of mil in and out. So nice range there. The elbow joint, where is that? There we go. Just have to make sure the peg is facing the right way. Then we have a nice big wrist joint as well. So everything there moves again. The joints feel really nice on this, and looks really good. These are a little bit sharp, so do be careful. We don't want anyone poking out their eye with their brand new blow eyes now, do we? Now coming into the main torso area, again, we have the motion on the top part, a little swivel, and that basically leads all the way down to the tail, which has points of articulation all the way down. So again, very similar to that of a MonsterArts tail on Godzilla, but this one feels really nice. So we get nice motion up and down, and it can kind of spread all the way out and around, which is really cool. And then into the leg area, a nice upper thigh hip joint. It moves really well, and then the knee is pretty decent as well, and you can loop around. Basically all the range that you would really want is there, which is good. And same for the ankle, so yeah, nice swivel and back and forward motion. One thing to keep in mind is just make sure you get the peg facing the right direction if you are trying to articulate it. If you run into any limitations, just try to swivel it around a little bit, and that should increase your range of motion. Besides that, again, I just can't get over how smooth and nice this feels in hand. Definitely one of those figures which may take a little bit of time to get used to doing the different poses, just due to the number of points of articulation and the way the pegs work. So if they are kind of swiveled in the wrong way, you may not get much motion, but I just have to, align everything in the correct orientation to increase that range of motion. But once you get the hang of it, yeah, seems like it will definitely be a breeze to pose, and definitely a lot of fun. Okay, so moving over to the accessories, we want to get a good look at the key blast effect, or the burst stream attack effect, as well as the stand. Instead of setting up the one for this, here's one I prepared earlier. I mean, really, Blue Ace, you can't just get one, can you? I think you really do need free blue eyes to, you know, to have a full experience, you know, to match up with the free cards, free blue eyes, and just check these guys out together. Damn, that looks so good. But yeah, let's move these two off to the side for one moment, and we can take a closer look at the stand and effect. Okay, so the way the stand works, it has a cradle underneath blue eyes, and it just sits on that. Then you have the arm for the effect, which will attach underneath, and then you have two extra arms with kind of little wee cradle clips that will go over the wing. So again, everything's nice and loose, and nothing's putting pressure on the figure. It just rests in all of those arms, and you don't even need the wing ones. But I guess for long-term you know, display purposes, it definitely is a good idea to take the extra weight off the joints. But yeah, this is definitely beautiful, and opens up a whole load of posability options when displaying, so it's not just standing there. However, if you do want them, you know, just in a basic standing pose, as you saw earlier, you can fold all the wings up, which is really cool. And this is very similar to one of my favorite card designs, actually, this one here, which has a real kind of aliens look for the head, which is really nice. So it's really cool that you can, you know, recreate all the cool poses from the different cards. I mean, iconic card, so it does have lots of cool artwork these days. I mean, this one's kind of similar with the pose that we had on just off to the side. Let's move them back over. There we go. You know, something kind of similar to this. Probably need to angle the head up and come down a little bit more. But you know, find your favorite card and, you know, work on the pose. It's really nice. We do have lots of sample material for cool poses with this figure at least. But yeah, let's put these off to the side a little bit and do some size comparisons. Okay, so we've got a couple of figures here. Obviously the recent Naruto release, and above them is actually the Fig Rise Blu-rays, which came out at the start of this year, I believe it was. So definitely the same sizing. So if you do have this one already, or you want 3 of the Blu-rays but maybe you just don't want to spend that much at the moment, this is definitely a good substitute. It definitely looks cool. The colours are very similar, just a lot more simplistic, a little bit more finicky because the joints are a bit weaker. But one thing I do love about the Fig Rise one is that it has the plastic kind of see-through wing, which does look really cool. And then off to the side here we do have a new Godzilla -1. So as we can see, Blue Eyes does fit in with the general overall S.H MonsterArts scaling, where everything is, you know, basically this height range throughout every single release in the MonsterArts line for the most part. So yeah, looks really cool. He'll definitely look really cool once we get some like Yugi Kaiba figures. Man, I really do hope we get some eventually from Tamashii. Proper full-on S.H Figuarts Yugioh line would be absolutely badass. But yeah, I'll move these other figures out of the way and then we can jump into the final thoughts. Okay, so final thoughts time, and you know what, this, almost words can't describe how amazing this release is. I absolutely love it. It's very simple when you look at it, but just everything kind of combined, it starts looking beautiful, right? Like, we know this is 4 separate parts for the wing, but when you have it posed and you look at it, it doesn't appear that way, right? Everything just kind of blends in. So many of the joints just kind of disappear into the figure. It matches, you know, he does have a scaly design, so a lot of the points of articulation are hidden from that. The only ones that we really see are the elbow and wrist pegs, but depending on the pose, you may not even see that when you have him up on your display either, which is really cool. He comes with a blast effect. The stand is really nice. It doesn't add pressure to the figure, just gently cradles it, so you can have those in-flight poses. Folded wings, wings spread, you know, you can look to the right, look to the left easily. All the points of articulation flow and move beautifully, and I mean, when you get them all together, damn, they look good. You can, you know, recreate all your iconic card art poses as well, which is one thing that I definitely appreciate. The con that I do have is the price point is definitely up there, but I think that is really the norm these days. The way that yen has gone over the past couple of years after COVID, I'm guessing the cost for manufacturing has definitely increased a lot more. So yeah, unfortunately I think this is probably going to be the norm for the pricing going forward. It's very, very rare that I break my no duplicate rule, but this time I just had to make it. But this time I just had to make an exception. Plus it helps that my wife really likes it as well. So, you know, I get a bit of leeway with this release. But yeah, other than that, I don't actually have any cons except for, as I mentioned, the price point, and that we don't have a Kaiba figure arts to pair with this release. But definitely let me know in the comments below what you think about this release. Did you love it? Did you pre-order? Did you pass? Are you on the fence? Has this video made you cave and go and pre-order 3 of them? Now coming up next, we do have the Red Eyes Black Dragon, who was displayed at Tamashii Nation last year, and he is already up for pre-order from memory. Pretty sure I pre-ordered him. Man, it's all blurring into one grouping at me, but yeah, he is next. Definitely looking really cool. Besides Red Eyes Black Dragon, I really do want to get the Black Magician or Dark Magician, depending where in the world you live. He would be cool. I mean, Yugi's ultimate monster. And then Black Magician Girl as well. I think she's definitely iconic. I think there's already been a figment for her already. But you know, a figure arts version or MonsterArts would be badass. Exodia. We already have the figurized version, which I was very tempted to get. But since they announced the MonsterArts for Blue Eyes, I decided to hold off in the hopes to get a MonsterArts version of Exodia, because man, he would be really cool. And then yeah, other than that, personally I'd love to see all 3 gods. Yeah, Ra especially would be awesome, just a massive gold beast. I think a nice metallic colour to him would be awesome. Obelisk, I can imagine him being ginormous. Then Osiris, yeah, he'd be really cool, you know, kind of probably a bit more limited in terms of articulation, maybe something like Shenron, where pretty much just fixing 1 or 2 poses, but he would be really cool to get as well. I know Stardust Dragon is also a must-have, but yeah, let me know who do you want from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster lineup to get a figure arts or MonsterArts release. It's definitely so much, yeah, definitely is by, I guess, generation from when you got into the series, whether it's from the anime or the card game, but definitely a lot of really cool monsters throughout the whole span of the series. So yeah, anyway, that is it for the video. When I do get time, I will get more photos taken. I've got a huge backlog. End of the year, it's just been absolutely ridiculous. I was out of the country for a bit, so trying to catch up on my backlog at the moment. But hopefully going into the new year, time will open up and it'll allow me a lot more chances to take some photos, because man, some of the releases in the last 2 months have been amazing. And I'm definitely looking forward to 2024. But yeah, this will actually be the last review for the year. So for everyone that has been watching the videos all year, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Hopefully I'll see you guys all talking lots in the comments for next year as well. So anyway, that is it for Blue Eyes White Dragon. Absolute badass. Top release for 2024 and a great way to, top release for 2023 and a great way to end up the year and lead into 2024. So anyway, again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, cheers!